This is a tutorial for this coral fleece tote bag. It's made up of 5 vertical bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 7 squares horizontally, and then after each row, it shares a grid with the next row. Take out the line first. Take the wire out of this core. Take out the needle in our kit. Other unused things, put it back in the material package. Take out a marker clasp. Let's start with 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Buckle up. When disconnected, 3 times the length of the grid main body 1, 2, 3. This makes it easy to pull the wire back and forth. If the disconnection is too long, it is a little inconvenient to pull the thread back and forth when sewing. Fold this line in half. And then work hard. Needle threading. Do not sew the first hole. Sew this on top. Because it is sewn to the head diagonally, leave a little line behind to press down. This hole no seams, then insert the needle diagonally in his first hole. When we sew again, that's when we count 3 squares up 1, 2, 3. Then the corresponding horizontal third grid, put it down again 1, 2, 3. Then it's the 4th grid upright. It also corresponds to the 4th grid horizontally. Wear it again. It's a diagonal approach. 5th grid. Sixth grid. Seventh. Then sew the 8th grid upright. Then sew to the position of the mark buckle. It's about to be sewn up. There is a hole on the mark buckle. Then follow here, and you just sew all the way up. Then the lower mark is buckled up to the 3rd grid and inserted into the needle. Then the corresponding 4th grid. The number diagonally should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because there are 7 horizontally, so there should be 7 facing. Sew all the way up. Sew this piece of thread. If you can't see clearly, pick it with your hands. Okay, now that's all. I'm offline. Then hide the line in the back. Cut off the excess thread. Then disconnect, or 3 times the length of the main body of the broken grid plate. 1, 2, 3. Now teach you how to connect to us. Just leave this at the back. Now the first section of the broken thread has been sewn. Now I'm going to connect the second section of line. When connecting the second line, put the corresponding two holes sewn before. Sew again. It's still the same at the back. Leave a short line. Press down with your hand. These are the two holes that were sewn just now. It's the last two holes of the previous seam. Because this line is longer, maybe when the line is disconnected, this grid board will leave the phone screen. Still in the way just now, sew all the way up. When it is inconvenient to hold it like this, you can turn round. It has to be grid by grid. It's the grid in this row. And this row of grids can't leave an empty space. If there is an empty space, after sewing, you'll see our grid panels affect the appearance of this bag. Or hide the line in the back. Tibetan line. I feel that the hidden thread will be stronger this way. Just let the grid board fold. Both holes go through at the same time. Pull it and hide the thread inside. Cut off the extra thread. Just follow this sewing method, the intermittent approach. Finish this row. My row has been sewn to this position. Don't worry about it here. Then sew down. Take this marker off. The last square in the row, that's the 7th grid, and the next row it is shared. So when counting up here, visible are 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then hang up the marker. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Count 16 from the visible grid. Plus the last one in the first row is 7. This row is shared. So let's start putting down a row now. The disconnection is still sometimes the size of the main grid board. It is the same sewing method as the first row. This time the needle, just from the first row. So here it is. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This public belong to the first in the next row. The needle is under the grid plate. This is the last one in the first row. Also the first in our second row. You take the needle through it. Then hold down our line segment. Leave a little behind, still the same diagonal seam. Number 2 from here. Then the third one. The third one facing. Count up if you can't see clearly. We can count 1 2 3 4. Fourth grid, then fold it in half. And I'm going to go through the fourth square on the opposite side. Diagonal fifth square. Fifth square up, then the fifth grid folded in half. 6 squares up. Then the 6th grid folded in half. 7th grid. This is the grid buckled by the mark, the last one. If we sew again, we have to go up. Mark button here is the last grid. This is the last one. Then insert the needle upward. It's just a hole in the mark buckle. It's the same as sewing the first row. He sews the same way. The sewing method of this bag is very simple. When you can't see clearly, you can pick it with your hands, our line. We can sew heavy. It means that this grid can be used. After sewing, you can sew again. If you can't see which one to sew, you can sew it again, but you must not miss the grid or hide the line behind. Hide the line or fold the grid plate. Grid plates are resilient. Then hide behind. Or according to our way. Let's finish this row. When this row is about to end, this row may be a little confused because you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from here. This row is shared. Sew the remaining thread in your hand. The wire break of this one will be longer. Then this corner, so here we sew from this grid. Sew diagonally. So you sew a whole row. Then the rest of the line is diagonal. Go through. Then sew the rest of the row. Then finish sewing this. The last 3 rows left, just sew it up in this order. Or hide the line in the back. Cut off the excess thread. This bag has a total of 5 rows of sewing like this. Now you've learned how to sew the first row and how to sew the second row. The sewing method of sewing the third row is the same as that of the first 2 rows, still in the visible space. Count 6 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This grid is the first one in the next row. 3 times the length of the broken line, 1, 2, 3. Again, I sewed this at the end of the first row, left a little grid unsewn, then sew the second row. When sewing to this position, the broken wire is 6 times the length of the main grid plate, enough to put the last remaining row. Finally, these grids are sewn. Then return the line. Finish the remaining grids in the first row, so the last few grids in the first row are not sewn. It's sewn right here.